Alright, welcome back, Brentverts. Welcome to part 2 of this DIY laser build. I apologize first. I'm getting my chair here so don't make any noise. For how long it took to get to part 2. Oh boy. Problems. First we had to do some redesigns of these. I did a little bit of a dry fit and they work, but I was really concerned about the wobble with them, even though this piece is going to be in here. Since last time I've gone ahead and cut this to length, so it's now the right length, I hope. Measure 14 times, cut 6. Other changes we have had. You see there's a video. I've had to redesign these guys just to accommodate the fact that I needed to put in some eccentric nuts. Unfortunately, the original, come back here. There was the second design I thought was going to work, where I just cut off one of these in Tinkercad. I know, don't flame me for it. But then found out that this eccentric nut, of course, is offset just a hair more, just enough to make it a pain. So I had to redesign that. And what we finally came up with is this design, which is just chopped all 3 of them off in Tinkercad. I will try to put those back on Tinkercad with the link to the original. I went ahead and put one together just to make sure it would fit. And though I haven't put it on the rail here, it does fit. It is now super tight. A little offset there, I can tell, but much better than it was. So that's what we're going to be going with. That. So now that you've seen these two guys, in the bin. The other thing that's happened while y'all weren't here is I went ahead and mounted these belt stops. Couldn't think of the word. Went ahead and got 2 of them on here just so I could test this. You can't see them, but they're there. We'll go ahead and I'll make sure you see when I mount the other 2 on that end if we get that far. That little nut doesn't belong in here. Some other changes. This is the new redesign for this piece. So we'll swap that out today. Went through all kinds of redesigns, then realized there's no real point for having this up here, so I just chopped it off. So we get to redo that guy. We'll go ahead and take him off. I'll probably be the first thing we do so we can throw the rest of that in the garbage, and then we'll swap out these 2 guys. That's going to be fun because it means I get to take the ends off or drop one of these bolts off. I'll probably just take one of the bolts off. Some other changes being the original Big Tree Tech 12864 Mini LCD was not supported by the latest version of Marlin. At this time it's 2.09.2 bug fix. Just would not work, would not even compile, just to find out that it's not supported. But I went ahead and went on the GitHub, got with the developers, and it kind of worked. They got me one that would kind of work, but you could not control, actually I could not even get any of the LEDs to light up. So to make things easier, I went ahead and just swapped it with a regular 12864 that I had on my Tronxy X3, and then put the Mini on that one, and compiled fine with that one, so it's up and running over there. Slight issue with controlling all the LEDs because I have a strip of RGB LEDs for lighting the print bed and the printer, and then the LCD, even though they're set up as separate, they all like to turn off together. So it's minor, just annoying. After like 6 hours, the screen turns off, but I can turn it back on with some G-code and a plug-in that's in Octoprint, so not a big deal at this point, functional. The other big issue that made this take forever, before I get to that, this is our new mount, which looks horribly printed right there, because it is, that I had to come up with to mount on this to clear the nuts, the bolts, you know, all the other screws that are going to go in there. So it'll kind of go like that. Also, it's 3 spots. That was through several changes, going from something like this over to something like this, and neither of those going to be any good, so in the bin. Another change is this was going to be my in-stop mount, and they were going to go on the printer. I thought on top, so I can get this in camera shot because my monitor's behind me, of course, back here. Problem with these guys is there's no way to mount the nut on the bottom side, so that's not going to work. So in the bin. And then I found these guys, which kind of nice. Once again, look horrible, but they actually fit on top. And then these will bolt in. They actually have a little molded spot. Hopefully we'll get to that today. In all actuality, this is definitely going to be a 3-parter, maybe even a 4-parter. Who knows? I thought this was going to be like a 1-week project. Here we are on week 3. The other issue I've had is I ran out of red. I really like this red. And then I got on Amazon. I was like, okay, let me order some red. Get it here in 2 days, 1 day if I'm lucky. And we can keep nailing this out. And that did not happen because they were completely out of red by every manufacturer at the time. So I thought I was being smart and I ordered this Amazon Basics transparent red, which is that. It's also here. It's close. It's not the same, but it's close. It's definitely not as pretty. So I'll be reprinting some parts. But I've used Amazon Basics. I'll turn it this way. Many times. The black, it was my standard for over a year. This was the only thing they had that was close to red. This is horrible. This is absolutely horrible. It just does not stick. Nothing I could do would get it to stick to the build plate. No amount of flow control, no going up in temp, going down in temp, taking the print bed up, taking it down, speeding it up, slowing it down, turning around back to front. Nothing. I have wasted nearly half a roll, and the only thing I was able to get out of it is this, and that took at least 5 prints. That guy, this one, once again, took 5, maybe 6 prints to even get this far. Even each of these legs were a pain. This mount, which you can see, did not stick, but it'll hold for now. And then I got on and read the reviews, and everyone was saying the exact same thing. I really don't know what has happened. It used to be decent quality filament. It did. I was happy with it. Sometimes had a really nice and smooth finish, more than the Hatchbox or the is that Overture. I don't know. I don't know who they're getting this from and slapping their label on. But the reviews all say the exact same thing. Just horrible. Just does not stick to the print bed, does not stick to itself. And it wasn't just this transparent, although there were more complaints on the transparent colors. All across the board, everyone was complaining about the Amazon filament. Really don't know. I mean, I've even had the eSun filament, which is some of the cheapest, and that has always printed fine, absolutely fine. Some other issues with this is it's a really odd size spool. I don't have another one here close enough without going across the room to show you, but it hit the back of the printer on my mount, where my spool mount is. Had to get in one of the old horrible acrylic ones that came with the original Tronxy, and just kind of set it off to the side, which got me through it. But on neither of my printers, neither one of the printers, every other filament I have print absolutely fine. And this stuff, even glue stick, just horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. I'm so disappointed. It was such a waste of money. I should have just waited a week and got red. But that didn't happen. So we'll set this off to the side. Okay, other change. As you can see, I gave up. This is the original power supply that comes with the NEJE laser module. I don't think I'm going to use that since I do have the options here of these two boards, which I've never used. As far as I've done is I've plugged this into this guy, plugged into a laser module when I got it, and it turned on and made some magic smoke on some cardboard, not out of the laser. So I'm like, okay, it works. We'll just move on. So that we're going to replace with one of these guys. Also, since I realized I needed to power the board and the LCD, all the motors. I saw some other reviews of laser cutters that are just using this or even a power brick power supply, and they've had some real issues with power output on these guys and with their control boards, and those are with the little bitty like 8-bit controllers. So I figured it'd be safer to just bypass this guy, save that for another project, and just go with an old, I think this is 240 watt. Let's see. Yeah, 240 watt. This is just one of the generic ones that came off of the X3. That's what it came off of. As you see, I needed a mount for it as well, so I just gave up and used some of that. I believe this is ESON, and printed absolutely fine. I mean, not the prettiest. You can tell there's some line issues there and where it originally went down, but just adhered fine, absolutely fine. So I definitely know it was the PLA. I wasted so many days of my life on that. It's just worth the money. Next time, just buy a decent quality filament and move on. So this guy will probably get mounted back here in the back somewhere, which you can't see. We'll set him off. Actually, we'll set him back here. Just get him out of the way. And a few more parts that are going to have to go on here. Of course, now with that guy, we need an actual plug for it. I'll still have to print the mount for that. I hate printing things twice, but every printer I've had, it's worked that way. So, of course, it's going to work like that on this guy as well. We'll get him working, and then once he's working, I can move on, and I'll get some more of the nice, pretty red. I believe it was Hatchbox, and reprint that. Also a parts fan, which is eventually going to go on here for air cooling, for some air assist. We'll get that out of the way for now, since that is going to be down the road, but at least you know about it. Yeah, so there's where we are. And I'm a little bit sick. Not COVID. I've actually had COVID twice and vaccinated, but I've been a long hauler both times, and there's some days it really put me down. But I'm on some protocols now, and it seems to be working. It's really getting kind of concerned there, but we're on the up and up. So let's go ahead and get the stuff we're not going to use right at the moment out of the way, which is going to be this guy. Make sure that's all these little cables that came with the laser module that are going to go into these guys. So we will start with the basics. We're probably going to need that guy. And some cables. I had to get some longer cables. I had some, but of course I'm like, they are not going to reach around. So also one of the, after I started this, one of the bad things about this design is, of course, now you have cabling coming all the way down here, where a lot of the other designs now just have the motors mounted in the back, but I was already in the process, so I didn't want to go backwards and start over. But, you know, this is why I'm doing this video this way, so you can see it's not like every other YouTube video where you just print something and it goes together and everything's hunky-dory. Just does not seem to work that way for me. But I digress, we'll just move forward. Of course, last motor that's going to go up, and this guy. Still need to find another screw, because these were bought a third-party source, and American tapped, not metric. And over there. So hopefully we can get to this stuff. Move this guy's out of the way. This guy we're not going to need for a bit. These guys we aren't going to need for a bit. over here. And that guy out of the way. Alright, we'll start with changing this guy out over to this guy. Hopefully it fits. I guess I should have tested that before we started this, but hey, what fun is that? Alright. Now, we'll probably be doing that 20-30 times. And also, this is not a live stream, just pre-recorded video because, well, I've just had so many issues with still on the horrible 720 camera. 3 with USB 3 1920 cameras. One actually has a 4K sensor on it. Just does not work. Got an old Connect camera with the adapter that works and looks great for about a minute, and then it just freezes up. Thought we had that one fixed the other day. We updated the USB drivers, and that just blue screened the computer and took 24 hours to get back up. Just ready to do a backup too when that hit. Luckily I didn't lose any data, but it was a little scary for a while there. Also had to upgrade my video card, which with these ridiculous prices, way overpaid for something that's already several years old, but cannot afford a $1,000 video card right now. It's just ridiculous. The video cards are like new cars. As soon as you buy them, they've lost half their value, and something newer and better will come out the day after you buy it. So I figured, well, I'll spend as little as possible. And we've seen how that has worked out. All right. Two. Oh, the fun's going to be getting these guys back out, pressed in the new one. I hope they fit. Otherwise, it's going to be a very short span. All right, put that there. There's the other one. Let's do this way. Oh, that's right. These are lock nuts. I'm gonna go in. We're gonna have to use a tool on it. I should have just popped those out from the other side when I still had the bolts in them. There we go. Whew. Easy. Oh boy, is that guy tight. This one in here. Ooh, buddy. Man, oh man. That ain't helping. Just leave that in. Check these other ones that I have, see what they are. Yep, we're just gonna leave them in there. How about that? Path least resistance. resistance. I'll get rid of those later. Go ahead and set those guys. Grab some new ones just for the hell of it. Make sure we spill those all over the floor. Hope I have the right size for to mount that guy later. Alright. They look like they're gonna fit. Might be a little tight. Let's do this. Wonder if I can get these guys to go this direction. Hey, look at that. Much easier. Even though they were not countersunk in there, that is actually going to work. There we go. Yes, much better. Oh, the things you learn the third, fourth, fifth, sixth time around. There we go. Oh yeah, that was much easier. Alright. Set this guy back in there. Whee! Alright, let's see how this goes. Is going to go that direction. Hey, fits. Get that little piece of garbage out of there. I don't know if y'all can see the difference on camera, but whew, man, that red is so much prettier than that transparent. I do not even see the point of that. Actually got some art projects I need to do, mainly for some residual income, so I'm trying to get this laser cutter up as quick as possible. Oh, we slipped out. Let's see if we can do it this way. A couple of these in here. Let's see what happens. I bet all four of them slip out on me. It's holding. That one can't. Hey, that one caught. Screw up my pad. No, I didn't. That one's going in. Perfect. So sure there's going to be another issue with this guy. Not just with this piece, but this whole printer. Or laser cutter. See how many times I can drop this. That one broke free too. Let's see. Back, gonna grab a hammer. Good, got some channel locks just in case. case. Let's see if I can knock this guy back down into position. Yeah, it worked pretty well. Go. Do the same thing with this guy. I just freed him up more. Make sure he's lined up. It's definitely not going to sit as easy as the first one. Let's see what happens here. Nope. All right, plan B. Press him in there, get that lined up again. Did we break anything? Nope, didn't mar it up. Wow, that was tough. Sure sounded like something broke. All four of them are free. All right, that fits. Anything rubbing? Doesn't look like it. All right, this may work out. We'll go ahead and stick this guy on here now so we don't forget. And I think it'll just be easier than when he's already mounted. Ooh, don't want to lose one of the 3 screws that it did find. Hopefully these are the right depth as well. It does fit in there. Holes lined up. Ooh, that's gonna be a pain. Lordy. One. Two. Yes. There's 3. I really don't like not having that 4th one, but that's on there pretty solid, and that'll work for now. Anything doing? We're doing 3 times. So hopefully we can get rid of these 2 guys. Here, I can be sure to smash my knees into them when I hop off. All right, so let's get this guy over here. Go ahead and get these guys out of the way. Be careful, Ducky. We'll put you there, Ducky. Okay. Doing all right, Ducky? All right, good. Lose them. Let's see, what do we gotta do on this guy? I don't remember what size these were. Ooh. Hey, right size. Coming out. There we go. All right. There we go. There is one. Let's go and start with this one. Fun, 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 fun. I don't know if you're like me. I just cannot do things the easy way. Or I'm just cheap. Probably both. I know it's both. Set that one to the side and save those parts. Here, let's get this guy like that. Those lined up. Yes, they are. Or should we put them like that? I think I'm gonna put it down. I do have long enough cables, so I think that makes more sense. Especially the way I plan on routing the cable. So yeah, we'll put that down. What did I do on the other ones? I put them down. So that's the plan we'll go with. More clearance on these guys. A lot. That is flush and mounted. And that works. Yeah. Perfect. Of course, now we got to take one of these wheels off so we can get this back on. Or let's do this easier way. See the spacers. I actually had these left over from my X3. Was it the X3? No, it was actually the triple X3, which y'all haven't seen yet, which is a scaled up version that does, instead of 210 by 210, 300 by 300. And I just recently got a metal flex plate, which was what this sticker is from, to go on top. And thought it was magnetic. Of course it wasn't. And I had to use some binder clips, which was, you know, not a big deal. But as soon as I turned it on and tested it, my touch probe snagged on one and destroyed itself, so I had to fix that. Actually, we can make this even a little easier because this is the eccentric nuts. Can I make it go on there? Oh, yeah, I got it. Let's see if we can get it with the wheel actually there. No, of course not. Now it's too good of a fit. Oh, we'll go ahead and do this. I know I could adjust that nut to give it clearance, but that wrench is on the other side of the room and that one is too tight. So we'll get this guy in here. Go ahead and put the one on top. Fit that in there. I hope I don't have to take this end all the way to top apart. Hey! Alright, get these back on. Hopefully all this is in camera shot. Hand tight. I did not even check to see if these are the same size. Those, no, they're not. No, they're not. Alright. Definitely tell that eccentric nut is going to need to be adjusted, but that is still way better than it was before. Bang, bang. Yep. I don't know, I still have some play in that, so I can spin that guy around. This over here. This is the easy way too, now that we've learned it. See one over here? No, I'm not. Extra. There. Oh, that wasn't too painful. I hope the audio is better on this one. Actually, I have a semi-decent condenser mic, but more and more problems. For some reason, it just would not connect through OBS. So, round and around we went with our audio interface, trying and trying and trying, and then hey, it works. Why should it work the first time? Real irony is I have actually built two complete streaming systems for other clients. One back in the 90s, came that close to beating Mark Cuban and Broadcast.com, which the original office I'm in Deep Elm, it's just about a street over. I've actually done a gig with him. He is a really interesting guy. I am here in Deep Elm, Texas, originally from Houston, Texas. And the only thing I knew about Mark Cuban was what I had seen on him on the nightly news for TV, yelling and screaming at people. And I'm like, that guy is a real jerk. But he is actually probably one of the nicest people I've ever worked with. I did not get to meet him, but it was a young entrepreneurs meeting for basically 14, 15, 16-year-olds at a local convention here in Dallas. And the show had been over for 2 to 3 hours, and he was still standing on the side of the room just talking to these kids and giving them ideas and giving them advice, and was actually making it a point to stay out of our way, and the housekeeping, who was like trying to get tables out, because just because his show is over doesn't mean the show is over, because in the next couple hours another show's coming in there and has to be set up, so everything comes out and they have to clean the room, reset it. Another production company comes in, sets up a new show, and then some other person gets on there and has their meeting. And really considerate guy. I was really impressed. Pretty funny too. Talked a lot about his failures in life, which is good to hear. You only hear about these rich and famous people as, hey, overnight sensation, and that was not how it ever is. Ever, ever, ever. I guess I could have reused some of my other, but I hadn't. No, I did not have any more of these guys. So I'm sure I'll break one. I don't know if I completed all my thoughts on that story. That one out. There's all the parts for him in the bin. On here, I'm going to break this one down. Just in case I drop a nut, it's already there. Quick and easy for me to get. Boom. Oh, back to my original point. Yeah, I've actually built two streaming systems. One back in the 90s for a company, and we were going around broadcasting concerts and raves, which was really tough back then. We had a 128K wireless connection, which is unheard of. Unheard of. believe it was a company that partnered with Motorola, had gone in and put these 128K wireless modems. That's something y'all don't know about. And all the street lights, so anywhere in the city limits we could get a 128K connection, and it worked pretty good. This was back when real media was going to change the world, way before YouTube. And then right before, it was 9/11. 9/11 happened, and that company shut down, and that killed half the business model. And we missed it by a couple of days being sold to Clear Channel. And so about 2.5, 3 years of work. This was the .com startup where everyone was expecting to be a millionaire after working for Sweat Equity for 2 years, and it just went away. And then recently a venue for the last 2 years been working at. We set up a streaming system there that actually has 4 cameras, 4 1920 cameras, and a full Dante feed, a bunch of fancy stuff. Here we go. Oh, make sure I'm not throwing away the wrong piece. Where is my second one? Did I just throw it in the thing? I think I did. There we go. Yep. Wrong piece in the bin. Start with 2 side ones here. So yes, isn't that life? You can get something you can set up for somebody else. Seems to work nearly perfectly. But when it comes to doing it, I'm just going to do this at home on the weekends. It's just not at all going to happen. Boy, is it warm in here right now. Whew. My neighbors actually have all their heaters on, and I am surrounded. It is actually cooking me in here, even though it's, I believe at the time, 30 degrees outside, and hardwood floors and one big window, which is normally just air blowing through it, but I am just baking. Again, make sure I'm putting these in the right way. Yes, I am. I tell you, that's one of the hard things about doing this on camera, is keeping your hands out here. So I am expecting on this second part to get this, of course, mounted back on there, this guy on there, this guy on there, these other end stops on the end of the cable, so we're sure we have actual functionality. Hopefully this is going to mount up. We'll get these guys mounted, this guy mounted, and that's probably as far as we're going to get to make it. And then we'll have to figure out the next pieces. Oh yeah, end stop mounts. Hopefully we can get the end stop mounts on there as well. Basically the majority of it together. And then it looks like at this point part 3 will be completing the wiring, making sure everything works, which was another fun one. I've 2 years now I've been doing with 3D printing, and of course, like everyone, you quickly go from Repetier over to Marlin, and I have rebuilt Marlin hundreds of times, but man, when it comes to getting it configured for a laser cutter, it is not the simplest. There are so many things you have to either comment out or leave commented in for no reason. A lot of the options and the advanced options, I'm sure some of y'all have seen, all those laser features have nothing to do with this style printer. They are only for when you're using a water-cooled printer. But who knows? I got as far as I could get it compiled, and it worked on there, and the screen turned on, and it looks like something I had seen before, so we will see what happens. The other thing I had to do, which we still have to work on, is minimum I could get it to compile on was for 3-axis. So X, Y, and Z, which I did at some point want this to have a motorized Z axis, which is what this guy was for. So I can put him to the side. So for cutting, say, some deeper things, it could actually make a pass, go down 1 millimeter, make another pass, or 0.5 millimeter, or whatever, without having to readjust it manually. I did find a really nice design for that on Thingiverse, but unfortunately that file, I'm sure you all know Thingiverse always has problems. Missing 404 of space, and several people have asked the original creator to re-upload it, and he just has not seen the message yet. So probably what we're going to do is just bypass the end stop for that guy and fool Marlin into thinking that the Z-axis is at its Z max, and just go on. Even though at this point nothing that I haven't even played with Lightright or any of the actual software for making my own designs, so we'll still have to deal with that. See if it actually does support all of that. Get that guy in there, and I know from the other one it's going to be really tight to get it in there. I have to do this, dry fit everything, make sure it works. Boop, boop. Make it, yes. Oh, that's gonna be a fun one. All right. One there. I know those are gonna come right back off, but I feel better if everything's together. That means we can take these guys. Hey, you guys. Put them over there. Actually, before we lose them, make a bigger mess, stick them in the bag. Also conveniently kept around just in case I drop one on the floor. Just go back in a bin of parts, which I will show you on a future video. That's something you never see in the videos, is all the spare parts that you just have to have when you get into 3D printing, because a thermistor will die, or a hot end will get burned up. A heater cartridge will go out, a fan will die. There's a whole range of things that just seem to go wrong, at least for me. But that is also because I don't own a $1,000 laser or 3D printer. Everything has been some of the really cheap stuff, which I've upgraded $20 at a time. On one hand, it's been a couple of years of frustration at times of like, okay, I'm shut down for a week, or I have just put this together and this should work, let me do this last piece, and no, that does not work, let me take the entire thing back apart and start over. But you know, I've learned a lot, and that's half the fun. So let's see if we can get this guy to catch this nut. Oh yeah, just barely. Just barely. Alright, let's see if we can get that eccentric nut to sit down in there. I need this guy probably. This will probably be easier to go this direction. Open him up one. Ow. I know this is not the right tool for this, but my other wrench is on the other side of the room, as I said. Oh, it's starting to go. There we go. I did make it a point to take the calipers and measure the end of that eccentric nut, and made the hole, I guess, 0.2 larger. It was just not enough. There we go. Alright. Take these guys back off. Now it's probably what we're going to have to do. I'm going to move my cup out of the way so I don't drop it. guy out of the way. And that guy out of the way. And which of those do we want to keep? That one. Yep, same size as the other. Let's make sure. No, that's gonna go over here. Set him on there for now. And there. All right. This guy on there. See if I can keep my ugly head, bald head out of the top of this and blind you with glare. There we go. I've noticed on average, even after working with learning Tinkercad and then going over to Fusion 360, which I really, like everyone, I wish I'd started in Fusion 360 or any of the other CAD software besides Tinkercad. As handy as it is very limiting. You end up going backwards a lot. But I've noticed 3 is the magic number. Even if I think, oh, it's just going to be this, and I redesign it, and I sit there and I think about it, and I walk away for a day, and I come back and I look at it again. I'm like, yeah, that's going to work. And then I print it out, and sometimes 3/4 of the way, never at the beginning, 3/4 of the way, you're just like, oh, wait, no, that's not going to work. Let me start over. So 3 seems to be the magic number. Even on a few things that I've actually had to redesign 2 or 3 times, or multiple times, not just those 2 or 3 times that time, but coming back 6 months later and be like, yeah, I need one more of those. 3 always seems to be the magic number. Let's go ahead and pop these nuts off again. Ooh, that tight. This guy's out of here. Actually, I'll put those back in the bag with the other pieces. And I will instantly forget where I put them in the future. Actually, no. That was a bad idea. Put them over here. Other bolts. There's room in here. That will work. All right. Let's see if we can get away without taking that other one off. I think we can. We'll try this and see what happens. Oh yeah, I think that's gonna work. Oh yeah, don't you know? Come on. There we go. Yay. And you can just tell that one is much more, a little better than that one. I still got just the middle of that guy, but that's perfect. Little tight, actually, but once again, we'll adjust that eccentric nut, which is why I went with those. Let's get a little overhand tight for now. I know some of you are saying those are going to fall right off, and I'm sure they will. I'll actually put a drop of Loctite on the end of each of those once we're sure everything works. Oh yeah, that's nice and smooth. Okay. There's going to be the fun part. Let's see if we can make this fit. Get this guy on there so we don't forget. See if we can do this without breaking it. Actually, it seems pointless, but I'm working on this side first, so let's see if I can get him The other side is the side that was cut. Oh yeah. It's almost going in there. Let's see if we can get this one to go in, and then hopefully we can use the two sides against themselves. Oh yeah, good thing this was the loose side, because it just slightly popped off. And the end's a little bit flared on that aluminum. Let's actually get the file real quick. Totally see those cut edges where I hacksawed this guy apart. Go. The prettiest, but no one's ever going to see it. Ideally, we would have taken that apart, put that on first. Like I said, nothing ever works that way. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way again, just before we explode it over the place. There we go. Much easier. Whew. Ah, off the table. All right. This side I know is not set all the way. Get some of this aluminum shavings off here and into my fingers. Ow. Yeah, I can definitely tell that's not sitting perpendicular. Our vaporizer out of the way. Give this a nice little tap. It is pretty close. Not perfect, but pretty close. Oh, knocked my light away, sorry. Hey. Hey. Starting to kind of look like a printer. Alright, next step, I'm going to pull these guys back. And in this design, they go under the wheel. Make it pop up like this. How are we gonna grab that? Little, oh, shoot. Just gonna use a little Allen wrench. Reach under there and grab it. Come on. There we go. You can do it. Hey, that worked. Over the pulley. Hopefully these belts are long enough. Slide that under the wheel. pretty good. And does it? It reaches! Yay! Alright. Let's go ahead and put one of these on. And these guys just kind of, I've never used these before. It looks like it's just going to go, actually we'll go this way. I just have a T-nut on there. I like that. Oh yeah, I like that. That should make that hopefully easy enough to adjust. Won't cut any of this slack off until we're sure everything works. Is that what it did on this side? Yes, it is. And too short. A little bit more. See if I can get this in camera shot. Probably not. There we go. Might have been a good idea to find the actual Allen that I needed before I started this. That looks like it. Let it be it. And it's it. Yes. Alright. Actually feels pretty good. Alright. That just may work. Let's see if we can recreate this with this one. And now I've lost that. Drop it in there, dropped it back in there. Okay. See if we can get lucky on this. Go scooch it up. There we go. Isn't that life? Learn the easy way after you do it the hard way. Also, I hope this was the right belt. Seems very long. Let's see if... Oh, what did I do with the third one? The one that goes here. Oh, it's right there. Does that go over long enough? Guess I might have to swap that one out. So let's go ahead and dry fit this beforehand. This one's going to be a little more difficult. Let's do this. I'm just taking the end of this Allen wrench down there. I'm going to run the belt on top of it. Hopefully. Come on. There we go. Pull it out, hopefully. Probably should have. See if we can do like the other one. Bubble it back up. Oh yeah, that one's long enough as well. Cool. Alright, see if we can push it back and make it bubble right up in the center. Come on, guys. Ooh, almost. Oh, this is going to be the hardest part so far. Get this guy a little closer to me as well. I'm leaning over really far. Ruff, ruff. Somebody's walking their dog. Hey, there we go. That is what we're looking for. That pulley still needs to be tightened on there. But that looks alright. Looks like that's gonna work. The excess on the end here. Other thing about this design is I'm not quite sure how these things are going to get secured. There's actually a little slot through these end pieces. Let's see if it will slide through. probably would just have to double it over and put a zip tie on the end. There we go. Good thing this piece is long. Leave that hanging out. Yeah. We'll probably print a little clip or just a little piece of zip tie on the end of that to keep that on the outside. Same thing on this side. Come on. You can do it. Nope. Not up. There we go. Yeah. All right. Actually, looks like that's gonna work. Let's see if this guy will be the right size for this guy. Where our flat spot is. Straight up. There we go. Needle off. Another one of my concerns with this was the length of these motors. They're very short shafts. Seems to fit. Tighten that down. Probably should have put that facing down. But who knows? I know we're still going to have a bundle of wire coming this way, so that might work better on top. We will find out. Alright. Let's get this guy on. And it appears to secure these two end pieces, I'm probably going to use a T-nut with a bolt going through. Not too sure yet if it is even necessary. Oh yeah, it's a lot of belt. This was all scrap pieces I have left over. Actually, before I go this far, let's see if we have another one. Parts. Those are all electrical. Let's see what we have here. Pushing goods. Wraps. Oh, there we go. Bag o' belts. Just see, that one seems like a very long belt. And that is going to be too short. That's going to be... Ooh, that's the one we want. Yeah. So we get to do this twice. Save that long piece for next time something else breaks on one of the printers. Ow. And I can feel that aluminum in my finger now. Oh, yeah. Let's go ahead and take this guy back off. Out. Back out. See that? No, y'all can't. Alright. This piece of belt out of the way. Rip him up, put him in the bag. Oh boy, even if we don't get all the way, I'd like to, I feel really good to feel like most of this is together, hopefully. Oh boy, there's the other thing I didn't look at. Yeah, we're going to do something twice. 3 times, 4 times. To mount this guy, or I'm going to have to get to those screws. Yeah, because it looks like the bolts are going to come out this way with the nuts on the front. That's what we're going to have to do to clear that. Once again, one of those things you run into when you're using somebody else's design off of Tinkercad. So let's do this one again. This time we will put this, yeah, let's start it on the back. A little easier to work with, back to front. Went right on, it's not supposed to happen. Let's try this again. Much better. Hey. All right. There we go. I wish I could get this camera up high enough to see this. This thing is so high. I can't even reach it. It's so high. I wonder if that's my leg. No, that's as low as I can go with. Not squishing myself. One. Go. All right. Cooking with some propaganda. Fireworks. Apparently someone did not get enough celebration. Alright, so that is on. Go. Here, give me some nicotine. All right. So, get out of the way. Get this guy out of the way. Maybe. So much better not just to have a table full of parts. You're behind me. And now we can bring our drink back. Some orange drink. And there is our next problem. Wouldn't you know? bolts are too long. Too long. And they hit right into the back of this. I even have a cutout for it. But they still hit this mount. So, can I drop this? We're gonna get it. So this thing, unfortunately, is not gonna be that adjustable for now. Looks like we have another redesign coming. Probably have to make this mount just a bit thicker. Like I said, I had so many problems with that Amazon filament that did not want to make it as thick as I normally would have just to get it done. Right size? No, it's not. Let's see if we can cheat. Screwdriver. That really sucks. It's very close. See? 4 times. Oh, this will probably be 6 times for this one. There we go. Now we can cheat. To an extent. Maybe it's this one. Nope. That one. Nope. Back to this one. Nope. That one. Yep. Whee. Wow, that really sucks. So that means we're going to have another mishmash of colored pieces. Either fireworks or a power transformer blowing up, as close as it sounded. It is deep elm. A lot of times it's not, but it is New Year, so a lot of people have stuff left over, and they like to shoot them off the top of a 100-year-old building with a tar roof. Luckily, the fire department is only about a block away. Resolves this issue. I thought I had actually put that with this when I tested it before, but I guess not. We're on the right way. Yes, we are. Keep my hands in frame. It's just still not enough. I don't think it's going to be. Right for that. Oh, hey, just barely. Just barely. Doesn't give us a lot of height adjustment, but I'll take it for now. Back to the drawing board on this piece. There we go, half the fun. At least we learned something. Just barely. Or does it? Nope, it does not. So that's not going on today. Yay! Set him off to the side. Don't need those. But now we can move to mounting on the screen, the controller board, and the power supply. And kind of hooking some cables up. Still need to find a couple I have. That's where I had some spare power cable. I know I do. I know I do. You know, I hear the bags of parts. Here we go. Look at that. It's off of. MOSFET kit. I don't have any cutters with me. They are over there next to filament. There we go. And of course, no. We'll probably have to go with these. As much as I'd like to use this with the nice crimped ends, that means I'd have to cut one end off to fit into the end of the controller. So I'll probably end up going with these nice hard ones. And this is a solid core, I think so. And it looks like I'm still gonna have to go over there. Tools, 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 tools. Hammer out of the way. Of course, we'll forget to put all that back. Not sure I can use this plug. I think I actually have another one. That would suck as well. And stop. Heater core. Oh, and stops. Everything I'm not looking for right now. That's right. See, I'm getting confused on these. Okay, it should work. I'll have to confirm how that wiring goes so I don't short something out. Yep. Okay, I will have to. Definitely, I need to. I actually have a design for. Well, that may not work on this guy. I have to come up with a mount for that guy, so we won't hook him up. So no getting power today. Put that out of the way. Let's see if we can flip this guy around without breaking it. Okay. Seems to be holding together so far. Oh, that could have hurt. Flip him around now. This is going to be the back. Let's see if I can adjust this camera so you all can see that. It's not perfect. Camera's a little off. I'll just move everything around. There we go. Ideally, Ducky gets to go over here. There's this guy and this guy. So where are these going to hang out? I move all these cable clips out of the way. They just kind of got stuck in here just for now. Remember, now I'm looking at the back of the printer, so in my mind, this is going to go over here. Like so. You see that? There we go. Yeah, like so. Just because the way everything lines up. This guy will probably go right here in the center. That was my plan. Seems like everything stays out of the way. Still get to it once printer's all the way back. Does anything hit? Nope, it clears so far. Probably end up turning that way. That sure is ugly for now. Might actually be our safest bet. That's probably what we're gonna do. So that means I get these out of here. Take these out of the way. Kind of pointless to have them in there. Actually just wanted them to loosen up a little. This power supply needs to go back here. Problem being with that is that puts power supply right in the path of the motor. Although he's over, that actually works pretty well. The downside to that is makes a long path to these guys. If he is going like that, I'm not opposed to seeing electronics. I kind of like that. No, I think we're going to do that. Yeah, it keeps my motor cables right on the top. Otherwise, if I flip that around, that puts them on the bottom. And I have long enough motor cables to reach, so I think that's going to be our plan. This is part of the reason I wanted to use that 12864 mini so I could get this down low. And definitely know there's not long enough cables to put that on the front, which would be handy, but not really needed. This is going to be hooked up to Octoprint or something similar most of the time anyway, so I don't think it's a big deal. Oh, yeah, that's how it's going to go. That's how it's going to go for now. We'll let this stew for a couple of days while I redesign a couple of parts. These guys are going to need to get on. Let's see if those are still going to fit. Yeah, we're coming apart. Look at that. Got the right one. There we go. That one's tight. Yep. Square. Oh, and that's the exact probably size I needed for that guy. Is it? Yep. Do that. If we come over here, that'll let us put the power. Comes in right there. Have to keep that short. I think that's a plan. Let's go ahead and mount this guy. Keep the head out of the shot. It's a little tough backwards. I bet I grabbed the wrong size screw for that. we go. I know, once again, that is overkill, but it's what I had lying around. We'll probably end up replacing that with a 12-volt power brick at some point, but I didn't have a spare one of those sitting around. So, and then who knows? That means we'll have enough power in the future when we want to upgrade something else. So yeah, eventually this guy end up sitting probably right in here some way, shape, or form. Probably like that. No, this is going to be one to sit around and think about for a bit. Or I might even just hardwire the cable on. I know that seems like a bad idea, but I'm really not too concerned, because since I actually put sawn off adapters on all my printers, so I can turn them on and off and shut them down when they're done printing so I can go to sleep. So that should be fine. That guy's gonna go like that, with cables coming right across. Like that. We got enough. Yeah, I think we got enough. Whoa, let's see if I can get that shot without falling off the desk. No, I need a bigger desk. All right. Oh, it's so ugly. Got 2 T-nuts here. See, can we use up some of these larger ones? Sure would like to do that. How deep is that? That might work. Keep both out just in case. That one will for sure work, but looks a little short. All right. Try that. Where's I? Some Phillips. So ashamed of that. You should be ashamed, Amazon. I trusted you and you let me down. I sure wish I had read the reviews. Did all that in the effort to save time. Really wasn't concerned about the cost at the time of making them, but I just cannot believe they had no red. So now I'm going to have to order another roll of red. I'm thinking. Problem with that is that it does put a lot of stuff coming into the front. No, that is gonna have to go that way, which means this has to flip 180. Let's go ahead and do this. I guess the advantage of this not actually going together or printing very well is only put 2 of the screws in, which is more than enough, but I don't like to do that. Yeah, makes much more sense to have the cables coming out the back. Really wish I could afford some another set of TMCs instead of these 8826s. Yes. So I did not have to use end stops, but it is what it is. I know you are asking, well, why didn't you just buy one of the regular laser cutters? The main reason being, for the cost, I could not get that power of a module. And I used my Amazon points. So the actual whole laser module did not cost me really a dime. Woo! Did I lose that nut? Saved it. Some more strings off of there. Come on. Come on. Get out of the way. Same size screws. All right, let's leave that off for now. Sounds like somebody just fell down in the hallway. All kinds of noises tonight. Not too bad. I can probably put it right about in there. Yeah, it keeps those motor cables out of the way. Makes the SD card easy to get to. Let's try it. Hey. Looks like that's gonna work. Of course, it'll probably be wrong. Yeah, different holes than we used before. Recording's still going. Yes, it is. I know y'all really can't see this. I apologize, but it's what it is. Straight, can't tell. Feels a little cross-sided. Oh, and did it again. Stuck in there. Catch. Yep. All the way tight. That didn't work for now. That looks closer to what we're using. Does that seem like it's gonna fit? Yes, it does. I'll say it's much easier to get to these screw heads this way. go back the longer screw just to get that nut to suck down in there. Yep. Get my ugly head in there. Ugly head. That's probably why we did that in the first time. That was a few days ago, and who remembers a few days ago? All right. In place. See if I can get this a little better. Does that help? That's a little better. Let's see if I can reverse these cables. Oh yeah. Go. Cleaner. Expansion 1. Go. Expansion 2. Go. Interesting. Oh, no. We're just dumb. Well, let me secure those right down in there like that. I'm just gonna let this fall at the end of the table. Now it won't move. Or even right in there. That's probably what's gonna happen. Alright. Let's get some T-nuts on this guy. I'm not gonna put all 4 like it's designed for because we know this will change. And 2, it really doesn't need it. Those apart. Look like the screws we got probably running out of the perfect size that we need. Probably have to buy one more set of these size screws. It's gonna fit down in there all the way. There we go. Let's see if I can break it in the process. Ah, there we go. Whew. Just slide that over with the screwdriver. Of course, it's magnetic. Grab that T-nut. We'll use you. Copper's not magnetic, right? Come on. Ooh, I think I got it. No. What a pain. I hope I don't have to
disassemble the end just to get these nuts in. Lordy. Somebody's having a good old time. Did I even put those in the right way? Yes, I did. Hey. Not even 2:30. So close. Do this. Go through all this hubble up. Ties it's gonna need to go. Let's see. Yep. Those are gonna be the screws I need. And we're gonna do this. That's easier. Also help if I got these down all the way. There we go. Oh, that's tight. It's gonna hurt a little. Oh yeah, it's closer. Oh. And just need that T-nut to spin. Come on. Alright, that one's on. We're going to repeat this process. Slightly. Lord, I've actually used this design before. It was not this difficult on the other printer. Or on the actual printer, not this cutter. There we go. Let's see what this does. Ah, just popped all the way out. Go. That was much easier. It did not spin, but it's actually in the nut. Come on. You can do it. Look at that. Some amount of success. All right. Clean that up a little. See if we can get one of these mounted, or two of these mounted. Get these back in the box.
That's horrible. It's blinding y'all, it's blinding me. Come on, desk. There we go. Get my fat legs under here. Alright, you see if these guys are going to mount. Now all this stuff's in the way, but it needs to go back here. Actually, one is going to go here. That's as far back apparently as that is going to go. And this is an over cable design. It's got two little recesses for the nuts in here. Hopefully they fit. I did not try to dry fit it. And then T-nuts on the side. Oh, so we're still going to need them. That should go right in there. Do lose a little bit of space in these corners. Not a lot. Not a lot. I think I'll deal with it for now. And then when we come up with a new design, we will change things up. So it looks like we're going to need that. That. And I wonder what length screws we're going to need. Offset slightly. Why do I get the feeling the size I need are not going to be the size I have? That is a little long. But these are a little short. Well, I just might make it. That way. That looks doable. Get that started some. We'll get that nut in there. That might be the magic ticket. There. Let's see. Let's try something here. Oh, there we go. That is the ticket. That's the magic ticket. Oh, yeah. Wow. Somebody actually really surprised. Usually things do not fit that well. I'm going to grab these two. Take this one back out. Let's see if we can get this in there. Why are you so shiny? You're maybe the right size, but I don't trust you. Ah. Hey, got it. Sweet. Hey, perfect. All right, that's a good sign. As long as I don't push the nut back out with the threads. It feels like it's grabbed it. So 1. Let's try a 2. Come back. What is going on? Oh, we're not lined up. There we go. Let's loosen this one up just a bit. Pre-thread this guy a little bit. There we go. Hopefully that's all we needed. Just a little attention. There we go. There we go. That looks pretty good. Now the question is, well, it's got to go this side, obviously. Well, not much. Hit that keeps the cable, but I like this way. I'm going to keep as much out of inside as possible. Yeah, that's not too bad. Depending down the road, if I come up with different feet, actually hold these corners better, I can actually get rid of these inside corner blocks. That's probably what's going to happen. So we need that one. Oh boy, I have 2 of those left. And we're going to need Tina. Actually 2. I'm not going to put 1 on each side because it really does not need it for that. Get this one. Actually bought these MakerBot end stops, which that cable's not going to work. I mean, it will, but it's not ideal. I have another with a JST on the end. Oh, we will recrimp that. Set him off to the side. All of our cables. Looks like we're going to have a cable party. Ooh, the other thing we have to think about is this guy. Where's he going to go? Probably going to go right in there. Maybe. Off like that. Might end up like that. Probably. Actually, probably end up like that. I know y'all can't see that, but it'll probably end up right here underneath all of this control board. So that will make it easier to jump over to the control board. Power coming out of that guy. Yes, I like that. Still not sure if we're using that yet, because it is actually designed for this module, the test module, which I don't think I need if I'm going to use this one, which is the one I want to use with the nice terminal. Since it has a test, and I am not expecting to need to see it in Celsius, or switch between Celsius and Fahrenheit. Would be nice to know, but I don't think it's necessary. We'll find out. We'll do some research on that. So we're actually going to wait on this guy, because if I use it for this one, I'm going to have to modify it slightly so it will fit, because it's right on the button there and those don't fit. And they made this with no mounting holes. We are getting closer though. We were cooking with some propaganda. That goes with those guys. Pick up some of my hardware here before I lose it. Bang. There we go. Seems to be just barely offset. Yep, it's got to go that way. Just to clear these little solder pin points on this. Oh, so I bought a whole pack of these. God, I think it was like an 8-pack. And then eventually moved up to the TMCs, never used them. So I was like, well, another $20 wasted. But they're coming in handy having them now. I am going to need a third one for the Z. I'm really hoping I can get this new job down the street, and I can immediately just buy some TMCs and we can bypass this, and this will all be an exercise in futility. Alright, so this is going to be on the men's side. I hope those cables were long enough. That's another thing I didn't think about. That does fit very nice right there. It's probably going to have to go right about there to cover this, clear the screw. Alright, I'm falling. Catch me, I'm falling. All right. It's going to be that one. And that is the last I have of those. I'm probably going to have to order another bit of those. 8mm. Yep. I have to order some 8mm. See what the 10 looks like. 10 probably gonna be too long. I do have a few washers I can replace that with. Nope, 10 too long. Gotta be the 8. That seems to work. Slide this over in place. All right, lined up. Really sucks I do not have a monitor in front of me. It is behind me, over my shoulder.
to see if whatever I'm doing is in camera shot. It's kind of painful. There we go. Grab it on. Spin. Yes, we did. All right, that's in position. I'm just going to leave this one. That was much easier for me to see. Come on, dang it. Oh, you're so close. Did I grab the wrong one? Slide this guy over, make it a little easier to deal with, then we'll pop him back into location. There we go. Oh yeah, the other thing I need to clarify is last time I said this was T-slot. This is all V-slot. So all these wheels would fit down in here. T-slot would be a problem with that. Probably still work, but I don't believe they would fit as well. And look at that. Pulled that belt out. Put that in there. Put this out of the way. Back on the table. Oh, lordy. There we go. All right. Ah, of course. All right. We've got most of it together. So I have to deal with cutting off this spare ends here. I'm gonna have to get some zip ties and secure that once I get it back over the pulley. And next time we will start hooking up the wiring. So that leaves 3 motor cables. Wiring that would go between the board and the power supply. I know that's overkill, but what I got. Laser module power. Have to come up with a mount for this guy. I will have to this guy. I'm gonna have to redesign this guy. End stops, cables, and I've got to make this guy thicker and redesign him. So I think we're gonna stop there, and I will see y'all on part 3. So which, you know, I got about 85–90% of what I was expecting to do. But I feel pretty good. Everything seems to kind of fit into place. It's starting to make some kind of sense. Not as pretty as I would like, but it'll work. So I can get to everything. Doesn't look like anything's really going to ram into anything. We'll probably have to set the end stops for that. Ooh, that's tight. Yep, Look at that. Look at that. It actually even clears. That was another good reason to put the cable on top. Actually, if it comes back all the way, it will clear over this board, as long as it's not into that, which that really shouldn't happen. Not really expecting to cut anything that big right now, but good to know. So we will stop there, and I'll see you next time, print birds. Thank you.